So I'm going to talk about my Plein Air setup right now, specifically my tool bag and a stool that I use for Plein Air. So this is what the bag looks like. I got these bags at Sam's Club a while back. I wish I would have bought them out because they're so great, because they're not too tall and they're open and they have two different handle lengths, short handles or long handles. I use the long handles more. And then I put a piece of cardboard so that it fits the whole length of the bag. I kind of created it, cut it, taped it together, and that gives me a way to keep the bag nice and stiff and upright. And I love to use this bag because I hate working with zippers. I'm always breaking my nails and things. So this is how I solve these problems. I've got my plein air easel and everything that's separate, but this is where all my tools are for painting. So this bag is nice because I can put things between the box and the bag. This is my plein air hat that folds up and fits nicely back in there. And then I have a little book that I like to carry around for urban sketching on this side. And then I take a trash bag, but that also sticks inside. I have a whole bunch of new bags in my plein air easel bag, but that's where I keep the one that I actually use on site. And on this side, I have a little cooling cloth in case it's a hot day. I just have to wet it down. It keeps my neck cool. Then I have a pack of micron pens that I tend to like to carry with me. In this case, in case I want to do an Inca wash. I also have a little set of backup brushes that are for plein air in case I forget my brush holder. It's been known to happen. I don't want to forget brushes. They're kind of critical to the process. On this side I have my paper. I usually pre-tape the paper down to gator board at home. And I have this set up in different sizes. And then on the back I have some more paper taped down. And then I have a smaller board, typically where I set up paper for my value study. I like to have my value study paper at the same height to width ratio as my ultimate painting size. So for this, if I'm going to do a quarter sheet, I'll do a 5.5 by 7.5 piece of paper. If I'm going to do an 8 by 10 piece, which is common, I use a 4 by 5 piece and I put that on a separate piece of gator board. And then they fit nicely down the side between the cardboard and the bag, and I have extra paper as well to carry with me. And then I use these clamps for various things. I have different types. These little easy ones I use to clamp my trash bag to my easel. These bigger, more industrial clamps I use to clamp my board or my light shade to my easel. And then inside the bag I have this device which I use for recording. I'll talk about that in a minute, these two pieces. That's if I'm going to do some video recording of my plein air process. And at the very top I have my apron. I tend to put in on top what I'm going to use first. I never have enough pockets when I'm plein air painting, so I like to take my easel. Then I have two terry cloth towels that controls the water on my brush. And now I'm getting into the real tools. I have another little separate compartment that keeps things that tend to flop around nice and handy. That's my spray bottle, my masking fluid. I have two little viewfinders in there. And then I have a little box that I got with buying pigment. I keep my extra kneaded erasers in there. And then I take pipettes with me. It's a nice way to get water without having to use my spray bottle onto my painting or into my pigments. And it keeps those handy so I can easily get them. And like I said, these clamps will be on my easel so they won't be in the way when I'm painting. I have two collapsible water cups. I like one for cleaning my brushes and one for clean water when I'm actually painting. Below that I have two masking tape rolls. One is a thinner 3/4 inch and one is thicker 1 inch, and I tend to use the 3/4 inch to tape my paper down, and then the thicker one I use for lifting. And then I'm getting into the real tools. I have a brush pouch, brush holder that keeps all my brushes contained, and then I have 3 zipper bags. I only use the pencil bag, keeps all my pencils and other little utensils like that, and then the other 2 holds my pigment paint. I don't often use those in the field. And I have 2 palettes. I like to keep them in plastic bags, but not zip tight so that it'll air out a little bit. I do have 2 different palettes. One is for my gouache and opaque pigments, and another is for my transparent pigments. I typically only paint plein air with the transparent, but I like to have some opaques just in case of emergencies. And then below my palette, I have that little red sketchbook that I take with me just for ideas and thumbnail sketches when I'm on site. And then when I store it, again, I put them in these 2 bags, so it's not airtight, so it'll dry out eventually, but it keeps it, if I put it in wet, keeps things from getting all over my bag. I have paper towel rolls. I keep it on a stand. So it doesn't roll around on me. And then I have Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, because you never know when you're going to need the magic for lifting back. So that's my little bag. It's just so handy to have, and then I put things back really easily. I can see them. I'm not fumbling around trying to find things when I'm in the heat of the moment. And I do have this recording device I've started using if I want to record video of my plein air process. If you can imagine, the gray part goes around my neck. It's very strong but malleable. So you can see there's a little release tab that goes around my neck, and then this lever moves up and down. So I can adjust the angle of my phone video camera. And this metal case is metallic, so it snaps into place with that strong magnet. That circle part is a magnet. And then I can take my phone at the horizontal view, so I can get a wide angle view of my painting process. And since my phone back is also magnetic, that magnetic thing keeps it in place so it doesn't move around as much as it would if I just don't have that little metal case. I thought that was rather ingenious. That's if I'm going to record my plein air process. And it tends to be last item in is the first one out. So what I need first, I put in on top if I can. Except my palette, I need to keep that near the bottom so it stays nice and stable and flat and doesn't leak all over the rest. And then I can hold these long handles and I can carry it around. I tend to carry it in my right hand. And it's not too heavy and really convenient, and I can see everything at a glance. I don't have to rummage around through a bunch of zippers when I'm trying to find something I need in a hurry. So that's the main tool bag. And then I also have a little stool that I carry sometimes. It's also a backpack, but I can only put one thing on my back, so I tend to carry this with my other hand. So it's a little stool with the backrest, and you can see it on the side here. That's the backrest. To set it up, I just turn that backrest up, and then it has a little insulated compartment. I can take my lunch with me if I want to, but right now I have my sunscreen and bug off spray in there. And then I can put a water bottle in there. I tend to keep my drinking water in this bag so I don't accidentally drink out of my painting water. Pretty handy, but I tried to just use this for my tools, but I could never see anything that I needed at the time. But to carry it, I hold onto that bar there. It's really easy to set up, and then to open it up, I just turn that backrest up, and then I have a handy little seat. and there's the backrest. So if I'm out with the Plein Air group and we want to have lunch and critique our paintings, I have a little nice seat with the way to support my back. I tend to put my Plein Air bag on top of it so I don't have to bend over as much when I'm painting. And then it's just so easy to put it away. It just folds right back up. I tend to carry this in my left hand, my backpack easel on my back, which is really lightweight, and it makes it pretty handy for me to Plein Air paint. Sometimes if I want to walk a long ways, I don't take this little stool with me, but if I'm close to my car, if I'm staying close to my car, it's really easy to just transfer this out, stick my Plein Air bag on top of it. Keeps it real convenient for me. So that's my Plein Air setup. Thank you for watching. You can see this video posted on my website at www.colleenreynolds.com.